did it make it easy to be part of this project?
Yeah, see, right now we are not feeling easy because we can't everything in this film, every look, everything is planned.
से एक है ना, मैं बचपन में ऐसे जरा टॉम बॉय जैसी
सुने हमने करीना की कहानियां।
हम पेरिस में भी थे, हम कांस में भी थे ना, तो अभी भी दिव्या बोलती थी आई एम मिसिंग दहीसर छाया। यार हम लोग हमारे सपने आपके हाथ में देते और आप लोग उसका पूरा असं करून तुम्ही टाकून देता।
I'm sitting with golden girls because oh my god, every time they go somewhere together, it's a party. And मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं इस पार्टी के बीचों बीच आकर बैठ गई हूँ. I have the wonderful Chhaya, I have Kani, and I have Divya, the ladies from All We Imagine as Light. Of course, it's seen that massive success at Cannes, but more recently, it was the opening film at the Mami Film Festival in Mumbai. Of course, the film is going to be in theatres on the 22nd November, and I thought it'll be nice, it'll be worth our while to actually talk about making the film with you all, because आप लोगों ने जाकर हर जगह पर ये कान की इतनी बातें कर ली हैं, तो मुझे लगा आज फिल्म की बातें कर लें, है ना, making of the film. All right, you play such wonderful characters, and I think that it's also true to who you are, which is the two of you are playing Malayali characters, and you're playing somebody from Ratnagiri, and I think that there is a comfort in that language itself when you speak in your own language. Was that the first thing for you? Did it make it easy to be part of this project?
Yeah, see, right now we are not feeling easy because we can't for me. She was saying, Kani, I don't want to speak. And I'm like, yeah, even for me, this is not comfort zone, but we will talk about it.
But was language something that make it easy for someone to act?
For me, yes, for sure. Like, because I mostly get work from Hindi speaking content, and thankfully all my characters are from South, so it's okay with the accent, but I still have to mug up these lines, which doesn't make any sense to me most of the time. And I'm like, literally, like in school time, I'm trying to learn Hindi, so this happens. So for once, like when this was all in Malayalam, but my character has to speak some Hindi.
Yes.
But still, it's less with Chayaji's character. And speaking in just Malayalam, that's when I feel I can perform, because you already know the language, then you can bring the same.
I must say, what you brought to Anu, like really tugged my heart, because I was exactly like Anu, and I think I am now like Prabha, and you know.
Why?
No, I'll tell you why, and then hopefully at some time I will be Parvati.
That's the
because I feel like the three of you are extensions at some level of this one woman in India. Did you ever look at each other's characters like that? Did you know what the other character was closely?
Yeah.
पूरी तरह से नहीं। जैसे अभी इस फिल्म में पार्वती मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे ज्यादा नजदीक थी। हाँ, क्योंकि वो है थोड़ा सा बचपन से, एक है ना, मैं बचपन में ऐसे जरा टॉम बॉय जैसी,
सुने हमने करीना की कहानियां।
अगर कोई बोलता है कि ये चीज पॉसिबल नहीं है, तो मुझे वो करने में मजा आता है। तो लकीली पार्वती भी वैसी है, लेकिन कुछ जो प्रभा है, अनु है ना, तो कुछ मोड़ पे ऐसे लगता है कि अरे हाँ, ये मैं हूँ, या फिर इस जगह पर मुझे होना चाहिए था।
बिल्कुल।
हाँ, तो कुछ प्रभा के डिसीजन या कुछ अनु के डिसीजन है ना, ऐसे लगता था कि एक तो ये डिसीजन मैं भी ले पाती या फिर नहीं ले पाती, इसलिए मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ, तो ऐसे है।
बिल्कुल, एक एग्जांपल मैं देना चाहूँगी, and as I said, it's a discussion. You know, I think there's a lot of power in that scene where you apologize to Anu. And I think that as a young girl, I never got that apology from my parents. You know, when they did something wrong or they did something mean, and even though they might have been right, the power of that is immense. How did you feel? Because as an actor, very few times do you get to play a role where you're actually more powerful, but you're apologizing to an actor who's actually younger than you.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes actually. I mean, why I say it, because for me the favorite scenes comes, I identify a favorite scene when every time I rehearse, every time I'm liking to do it.
Yeah.
each time I want to do it again and again and again. So this was one scene I just wanted to rehearse as much as possible, because every time I was having, like, I don't know, that scene is like, yesterday also I was telling someone that that's one of my favorite scene, because I think in life also, to be able to apologize and to know that you made a mistake, like you rightly pointed out, is the best thing one can have, and I think it's really one of my most favorite scene in the film.
Beautiful.
So I was very happy that I am apologizing, because I love that, and I think it also, for me in the story, Anu and
it makes you all
Prabhas,
closer.
like we grow from there.
From there, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a very crucial scene for Anu and
You know, there is a scene where it's the same scene where you're looking in the mirror and then you're changing. And there is a shot of you, you know, taking off your top. And I felt that, I don't know, for me it seemed like maybe it was something that happened in the moment. Was that planned? And how does one actor prepare for something like that?
Actually, when I read the script, that scene was so convincing for me, because every time in films, especially in India, they try to portray women like that in like sexual scenes, like intimate, those kind of scenes.
Correct.
So in this one, this is not that kind of scene. So
it was planned. Like
it was planned.
It was like actually
it was planned.
everything in Payal's film, there is not one moment is not planned. It's everything in this film, every look, everything is planned.
Because
there's
we
no
used to-
momentary improvisation in this film.
And I think that brought a understanding of how these two women.
We had an intimacy director on set for the scene.
And that moment for me was how, even though you're looking into a mirror and looking at her, but you're still revealing yourself to her. And then the apology comes in the same scene, right?
Yeah, it is in the scene, it is to make me a little uncomfortable, because she's very rigid and conservative, Prabha. So Anu also knows that, like, you know, like, so she's also poking her a bit.
Yes.
That's why then she turns.
Correct.
Like, she's like, okay, like, it's a really nicely written scene that way.
It was brilliant.
yeah. Also in the previous scene, Kani's character Prabha scolded her like regarding the Dr. Manoj.
Yes.
So those are very convincing for me to do the scene.
Absolutely.
I was so scared and I was so conscious, but when we internalize the character,
And what I also thought shines across is the safe space. You know, how do you make a safe space? And let me also talk about the two of you. You quit cinema in 2019, or said you don't want to work.
This is something
Please
completely
clarify.
miscaught.
Please clarify. It's very important, Kani, because here you are, 2019. Okay, this was when those reports came out.
This, it just misquoted me. Like, I think, I think in some press conference somewhere when we were talking, I said that there were moments most of us would think like, okay, it's better to not do film. That's all I said. And then it was just like, oh, she said like something like that. I was like, what is happening? As to quit, I have never worked properly. I should get enough work to say that I quit now.
No, but I think both of you have been very vocal about the fact that there have been instances where you worked in a certain industry and the practices have not been right, you know. And for you, Kani, that's really important. And I think that as contrasting to a film set like this, where there is so much comfort and there's so much sisterhood, and it can go on to win an award at Cannes. So is this award also a big like sort of to everyone who perhaps is doing it the wrong way? What do you have to say about that?
I don't see it in that way. Like, true. I mean, of course, I think we all coexist. I mean, whoever is willing to learn from things, that would be great. Because, for example, I have done also intimacy scenes and nudity many times before in different films where everything is completely uncomfortable. But thankfully, as a person, I really don't care. Like, I don't have that kind of shyness or anything that I carry around since I was 18, I think. But that is just me being me. But that's not how a situation, like a workspace should be, ideally.
That's not the standard, and it cannot be for the entire industry.
It can't be expected. It's absolutely. So, so for me, I've been on sets where I have an intimate scene where we are making out, and the director is never saying cut. And I'm like, at one point, I'm like, do you want us to have an intercourse? Right? I mean, you can cut it off if you want to, but I don't care. Like, I don't understand. Where in your script, it just says that they started making out, and that's where your line ends. But I need to know, as an action, where does I end by action?
Yeah.
You can't just continue on. You tell me, like, is that what? And this guy's like, and I'm like, what are, like, they have not prepared at all to do an intimate scene. But they want a scene. And they themselves are shy to even talk about it. So they haven't brought themselves, like the makers haven't brought themselves to how to do it. But they're like, okay, let's just see what she, like, you know.
Yeah,
so
kya
it's
hota hai,
extremely amateur the way, at least, I don't know about Bombay, I have heard a lot of times they have intimacy directors and someone is
Yes.
there. But at least from where we come from, I think these days, some of them are starting at least. But most of the time, it's been like completely unethical the way, like unprofessional the way they approach to all these scenes. In that way, Payal was like heaven and the ideal place.
Oh my God.
Ideal place to be.
Yeah, of course. And you can see the difference. You can see the performances. In fact, Chhaya ji, आपके पहले सीन में जब आप बात करती हैं मुझे, आप तो कैमरा देख भी नहीं रही हैं. There is this quality of you girls not even caring that there's a camera. And ये आपको आपका पहला सीन याद है ना इस फिल्म
Yes, yes, yes,
जहाँ
yes.
पर आप दोनों बात करते हो.
तो अभी जो
फेसिंग बोलते हैं ना, फेसिंग
Yes, yes.
छाया जी कैसे चलेगा हीरो लोग.
तो जो अभी कनी ने बोला ना कि सब फिक्स था कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं, जो पायल ने बोला है वो मुझे, हम पॉज भी लेते हैं ना तो वो पायल ने बोला था कि ये इतना ही पहुंची है. लेकिन वो ना एक्टर का जादू वहां पर होता है ना कि सब फिक्स है क्या करना है, लेकिन वो समझ में नाही आया. जैसे वो शायद वो कठपुतली होती है ना, हा म्हणजे ते दोरे दिसतायत, दोरेच काम करतात, हात हलतोय पाय हलतोय, पण ना ते दोरे आहे ना एका पॉइंटला आहे ना ऑडियन्सला दिसले नाही पाहिजे, त्यांना फक्त त्या बाहुल्या दिसल्या पाहिजे. तर मला वाटतं ना कलाकाराला तसं काम करता आलं पाहिजे आणि आम्ही प्रयत्न केला है तसं काम करण्याचा. म्हणजे जेव्हा मैं जब देखती थी इन दोनों को परफॉर्म करते समय तो एक पॉइंट पे हम लोग भूल जाते थे कि हमारी बॉडी भी जैसे, यानी एक्शन से पहले ना हम लोग तीनों को भी बॉडी भी चेंज हो जाती थी. जो अभी पता नहीं शायद लोगों को दिख रहा है की हम तीनों को भी हम लोग ऐसे ॲज अ छाया मी वेगळी आहे, पण कॅरेक्टर मध्ये आम्ही आमच्या बॉडीवर पण काम केलं होतं की मी अशीच उभी राहणार आहे. तर हिने मग अच्छा छायाजी ऐसे, तो फिर हिने एक वेगळं कॅरेक्टर पकडलं. तर त्यामुळे ना आम्ही जेव्हा समोर पण यायचो ना तर कुठेच मग कनी नव्हती, प्रभा होती. येस, तर ती मजा होती. या
काहीतरी वेगळं.
आणि ना जेवढं आहे ना शूटिंगच्या वेळी जे होतं ना की माझं कॅरेक्टर मी मराठी या हिंदी मध्ये बोलतेय आणि यांना येत नाहीये, सो
आणि हे दोघे काय मलयालम मध्ये असं बोलून
तो वो वैसे ही हो रहा था. इनफॅक्ट आजच्या घडीला पण तेच होत आहे की आम्ही समजून घेतोय. पण मला हे सांगायला आवडेल की मला ऍक्टर म्हणून कम्फर्टेबल करण्यासाठी ना या दोघांनी मराठी आणि हिंदी शिकण्याचा प्रयत्न केला. सो मला गोष्टी सोप्या केल्या.
That's lovely. That's so lovely. You know, I have to talk about your scene, Kani. The scene that is going to be most discussed when people, talk ahead is going to be that scene where, she meets her perhaps husband. We don't know. And when you watch the film for the first time as an audience, I'll tell you, there is a sense of what's happening here? Is he really her husband? How is that interpreted by you, and how is it told or explained to you by Payal? Because how do you play a scene which you really don't know exists or not?
Yeah, so that's true. Like I discussed this scene. So this is the only scene that I haven't got rehearsals. Every other scene, not because it was not a conscious decision, because we didn't get the actor to play for it. So till the last day, kind of. So I was very conscious of the scene because, like Chayaji and Divya, everyone was saying, every other scene, everything we have rehearsed so many times. We know exactly on shoot day, there's not one thing is changed. Like
with so many options.
With so many options, but all the options we know. It's not like nothing was not planned and nothing was just spontaneous. Now I will do it. No such thing. It was very gentle approach that way. But this was like not rehearsed because this is suddenly one. I mean, I knew him. He's from theatre, so I knew Anand Sami. So that was there. But we didn't rehearse, and we had that house only for that night. And I thought there was no time and it's an important scene and I don't know. So all this was there.
It is the scene.
And so I'm like, oh my God, Payal, I'm feeling so unprepared and now I don't know how to act. This is how otherwise I act in every film. You just go to the set and you're just doing the scene. Suddenly I don't know how to do it. That was there. But other than that, Payal and I have discussed about the scene. Coming back to your question, she said, yeah, I said, is it like Anu leaves and she's disturbed. She knows that Anu is going to meet again and does she want to stop? And is she so tired of that and she doesn't know what to do? Does she fall asleep and is it a dream? Is it a dream? Or she was so distressed, she went for a walk, she had a tea. Did she imagine these things there? Or was a man there but she probably only helped, she never went. Did she go to that clinic or not? Like, or finally, like all that can be a pause in between. Any of, so again, coming back to my approach of acting, I'm from a school where physical acting is needed. Like Sister Midnight that I watched recently, Radhika was sharing how she had to unlearn everything that she learned till then to act in that film because the director asked her to just not think so much, only follow your body, like only that. And she was like, it was difficult. But the school I come from, that's what I like.
Your school.
That's my school and that's what I like. I don't think so much and like psychological and all these things. My craft is slightly different. So that way, it was okay to be in the scene. I don't have to have so much clarity and fix one thing and go into the scene. Why? Like in life, I don't know the next 2 minutes, but now we are already in that minutes. And like you just discover while there, you are there. So I thought, I'll just go in it. And even I'll discover myself what is going to happen. Maybe I'm also I'll discover if I'm feeling it as a husband or not a husband, but I'll discover it while we do the scene, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's how I play. But some discussions, like it could be all these possibilities. That's how I thought too. One thing I fixed is she's definitely getting the closure. She's definitely making the decision to move on. She is opening up her life than any other time. This has to happen. That arc, that graph, I did solidize it like that.
You know what I thought? I thought that there were two apologies in the film. One apology that is, direct. Which is the apology from women to women. Okay, it has to be loud and clear. And we have to say it.
Yes.
And there is this apology that comes from the man, which is most often imagined. Because you'll never get it. So I don't know, this is my interpretation.
Great.
This is my interpretation. I don't know. I do want to ask you, how was your discovery of the city of Mumbai?
Actually,
because you shot in all of these, locations which are so real. It was for me as a Mumbai girl, walking through those streets with you, taking those trains with you, being in those crowds, eating those kebabs. Was that fun for you to shoot in actual locations in Mumbai?
Yeah, this city has like unique energy, so that I quite liked it because I don't want to care about my style of walking or the way I'm dressing. So basically, that's the thing I enjoyed.
You enjoyed it, right?
Yeah. Also in night also, I was not scared.
Wow. हे आम्हाला माहीतच नसायला.
Yes, yeah.
तिला सांगता येत नाहीये पण तिच्याबरोबर जेवढ्या गप्पा
Compared to
झाल्या
my city, sorry.
हम पेरिस में भी थे, हम कांस में भी थे ना, तो अभी भी दिव्या बोलती थी आई एम मिसिंग दहीसर छाया. सो आणि ती नेहमी, आणि मला मी मुंबईची मुलगी आहे तर हे सांगायला आवडेल की ह्या दोघीही, आणि दिव्या जास्त बोलत असते की मुंबईत ना खूप सेफ आहेत मुली. आम्ही कधीही रात्री बाहेर पडू शकतो, आणि ते म्हणजे ती इतकी प्रेमात पडली आहे ना, तसं मला ते ऐकताना खूप भारी वाटायचं की मुंबई आम्हाला आवडते आणि आम्हाला खूप सेफ वाटतं. इथलं खाणं वगैरे सगळं तिने खूप एन्जॉय केलं. त्यामुळे
There are two more scenes that I want to talk about. One is when you hug the rice cooker.
Oh no. It was the most challenging scene for me.
She has also auditioned for Prabha. That's why I mean, this is an audition scene.
Okay.
Yeah, Payal actually first called me to do the audition for the character Prabha. So I did 2 rounds for Prabha. And then she asked me to do
For Anu.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. I'm glad that you played Anu. I'm glad that you hugged the rice cooker. It was crazy. I mean, there is a moment in that, and I'll tell you why I'm saying this, because I think that this film just rips open so many of our women memories. Like, growing up. Like, I remember I was living in Singapore when I turned 30. And my mother sent a Jyoti mixer grinder as my 30th birthday present.
Seriously.
And it was the most bizarre gift. But honestly, yeah. This is so weird, but it's so true because, I needed it also. But I was upset also. I was like, ye kaun deta hai yaar? I did not let go of that mixer grinder till like last year. It became very sentimental for me, even though it's a mixer grinder. Because the aine dile mala, she sent it all the way. And when you hugged that rice cooker, I was just like, that's how I was with Jyoti mixer grinder.
Wow, we were finally we have one person.
So, Kani, tell me, that moment. How does one ever choreograph something like that? Do you keep it on the floor? Do you, because there's a whole lunge you do towards it. And your limbs, it's a beautiful picture. I just love that.
So I don't know how Divya has done it. For example, I haven't seen any other potential actors who must have done the audition and who did the scene. I don't know. Because this was the only scene Payal hasn't choreographed fully, entirely. When I did the audition, I was okay because again I come from a physical theatre school. It's my alley. It's my cup of tea to go with it. However, so when I auditioned, we did it once, and it was like at least 10-15 minutes I went with it. Like what all I would like to improvise with the cooker. Of course, there's an interpretation to it when I read the script, and it's what comes to my mind, and abstraction is there, but still with some kind of a stylization that's my body brings. Absolutely. So then we haven't rehearsed it one more time. Actually, this is the only thing we haven't rehearsed. Which I think was Payal's conscious decision. Rather, the other one was a situation we did not have the actor, hence she didn't do it. This one, she was like, we'll do, and then we had, I think some 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock time to shoot this, or 5 or something. Early morning, we had a lot of night shoots. So we have shot it differently also. There's also like different, one is long, one is short, and differently. And then she was like, Kani, I'll choose what is right for when we edit the whole film, what's rightly fitting. So I was not in control of what is going to finally come and what length and which part of the thing she's going to do. But finally, this moment she wanted, the striking moment that you think, because she wanted it to be there, and I improvised it in the audition also. But she said, let's keep that like that. So how I do it, like again, like I say, like the theatre school I come from is fully about these, like how to play with the property, like this becomes this and will it become a phone, or like, like you play with it and you play go crazy with it, So that's something, again, I love to do.
It was a moment. It was such a moment. I remember taking a screenshot of a beautiful, one of my favorite stills from the film has to be this one. It's where the two of you.
It's like a painting.
Yeah,
it's a painting.
like a painting.
I love it. The cave
Also with the music.
Yes.
That music.
I just love this. I love the scene. I love the silence. And I think that one of the greatest gifts of this film is that
When I first saw the trailer, I sent this screenshot to Payal.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. I love the silences. The other scene, of course, is the two of you are going to destroy a hoarding. And I love that. And I love that scene so much. And I love that scene so much.
And वो scene दो दिन शूट किया
2 दिन किया, और वो मेरा फर्स्ट
शॉट था। नहीं, उसका पहले चाइनीज वाला
मीटिंग था, चाइनीज उसी दिन किया।
No, I'll tell you why I love that shot, because in that shot for the longest time you can't see what you all are looking at. The audience has no idea कि क्या ये किसी का ऑफिस है, किसी का घर है, और आपने फेंक दिया है, और फिर एंड में जब आप लिटरली निकल जाते हैं, the camera stays there and then you see what's written. इस सीन के बारे में मुझे बताया, what do you remember from creating this scene?
उसकी रिहर्सल इतनी बार हुई है। अच्छा। हाँ, इस फिल्म में हर सीन का, हर शॉट का बहुत बार रिहर्सल, और
सिर्फ मेरे का वो क्लाइमैक्स का वो सीन नहीं,
वो नहीं, लेकिन बाकी सब
हाँ।
और हर एक सीन है ना एक इमोशन के साथ नहीं, हम लोग रिहर्सल करते थे 4-5 बार, फिर पायल बोलती थी, अच्छा छाया जी वो फर्स्ट टेक है ना, उसमें का स्टार्टिंग, सेकेंड वाला बीच का, थर्ड वाला का ये इमोशन ऐसे करके अभी करो, तो हमारे लिए ऐसा था, अरे फर्स्ट सीन में क्या किया था, अच्छा सेकंड वाले में क्या किया था। लेकिन उस सीन के हम लोग ने रिहर्सल की ऑफिस में ही। हाँ, हमारे 2 असिस्टेंट ऋतु और सुयश ऐसे वहां पर कुछ बोर्ड पकड़ के खड़े होते थे और हम वहां पर रिहर्सल करते थे, फेंक रहे, भाग रहे। लेकिन मुझे वो करते समय ना, जैसे अभी मैं खुद मुंबई से हूँ और मी हाऊसिंग बोर्ड मध्ये राहत होते, तर आता मी टॉवर मध्ये आलोय. सो ना
तुम्ही
ते सगळं मी अनुभवलंय. रिडेव्हलपमेंट, त्यात लोकांची स्वप्न, त्या स्वप्नांचा कसा बाजार मांडला जातो आणि जे काही बिल्डर आणि ही मधली माणसं जी काही फसवणूक करतात ना, सो ते करताना है ना, एका पॉइंटला मुझे ऐसे हुआ ना, वो अंदर का गुस्सा भी था, यार हम लोग हमारे सपने आपके हाथ में देते और आप लोग उसका पूरा असं असं करून तुम्ही टाकून देता. सो ना ते मला माझं आतलं फिलिंग तिकडे ना, ते एका क्षणाला असं झालं की तो दगड मारताना ना असं झालं ना की खूप जणांच्या मनातली गोष्ट मी केली आहे.
एकदम
येस.
Yeah, and it's so amazing because this is such a particular Mumbai emotion, but people all across the world identify with it, and that's what I love. Also, it really pissed me off that hoarding said, what did it say? Class is a privilege reserved for the privileged. And they are constantly tone deaf like that. All of the hoardings in Mumbai are like that, or in any place that's developing. So I get it. I completely get it. I do want to ask you, there has been a lot of, celebration and joy and all of that. But what is the true feeling that you're left with after doing this film? What are you grateful for, for All We Imagine As Light? If you put aside the award, if you really put aside all of the glam around it, because that's been discussed a lot, girls, and congratulations. And I love it. And I've been, your biggest cheerleader. But what remains really?
For me, the best thing is that I got to rehearse. I don't know, like
So cute.
yeah, I love it because I'm from theater, so I really love the process to make something is what I enjoy the most. Of course, sometimes one can lose spontaneity. I don't know, but I don't agree that entirely because I'm coming from theater. Like I love the process to reach somewhere because when I read the script, I thought of a prabha, or it comes in a way, and I interpreted it like that. And Pile is like, no, Kani, that's not how I see. So it's a negotiation between my director and me, and I'm trying. And then I have co-actors. They interpret their characters, and it's an interaction. We are having our time to slowly understand. And then Pile is not a Malayali person, and she's directing something which is 70% of Malayalam in it. Yeah. And she has put in a lot of hard work in it. So I truly appreciate that in her. And to agree on cultural nuances that are different from, I'm like, no, Pile, even if you say that, but from where I come from, even though your character is a Malayali and she may feel this way, what do you think? It's like, that's true, Kani, but in larger, I want this idea to come. How can it come? And I'm like, so we are negotiating all that. And then I'm like, one day, I'm like, you know what? I just understood it. Okay, now I get it. So that's pleasure. So it felt a collaborative process. But I don't think all films requires this. It depends on that particular film, that director, and what it demands. In that way, for me, this film, the most enjoyment was that process where I got to work with my co-actors, and we all, that process was just incredible. And Ratnagiri shoot was some magic. I don't know. I'm still not out of there. We always tell, like she has Dahisar. I also have Dahisar, but I have more Ratnagiri. I'm like, I'm not out of Ratnagiri. When did all this happen? Correct. I am there. I haven't come from there or something like this.
Yeah. And Ratnagiri, if you don't know, if you live in Maharashtra, then the excitement is always Goa. But that shack, it showed me a different or a better Goa because the beaches are cleaner.
Yes.
It's more beautiful, it's more quiet.
We could see Milky Way there in the night.
Yes,
and there was bioluminescence. It was so magical to be there. Sorry.
All you imagine as light. Yes.
Actually, Kani and I used to talk about this place, Ratnagiri, because 10 years before I visited the place with my sister.
Oh, really?
So when we met,
when we were working together, she and I became suddenly friends. Okay, then again, that time only,
while doing television.
9 years or something, and then she said, Kani, there's one place that we must go. I said, what is it? Ratnagiri. We both should travel there. I said, yeah, and we kept saying we never went. And when this film came, and then Payal was saying, Anu, she will audition Anu. I said, if Divya gets Payal, Divya and I can go to Ratnagiri. That's all we are saying. We can go to Ratnagiri.
That is the main attraction in between us.
How lovely.
We manifested it and it happened. It was like that.
I quite like the combination between sea and mountain.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
yeah, everything.
Apart from Ratnagiri, Anu, what has this film left you with?
As Kani said, the process, the collaboration, everything was there. Also, when you look at my previous films, the characters I played, they all are very matured, like Prabhas kind of characters. Especially in my previous film, Declaration, Payal watched that movie and she quite impressed with my performance. So this is the first movie I played like younger character. First time I'm playing some like energetic character, like very. So also, like my focus is always like learning the craft, mastering the craft. So these workshops and rehearsals all helped me a lot, and the ability to recreate the same thing, I think that is improved in me.
That's amazing. Thank you. So your craft definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks to this film has improved for both of you actually. तुम्हाला काय मिळालं? Apart from all the dance केला, you wore all those amazing things. See, that is all there, and I keep saying this because the entire narrative around the film, and very rightfully so, has been joyous and celebratory. But now that people will watch the film in the theater, I think they will pick up the scenes, they'll pick up why is this film doing what it is, and I want that to shine through. So what will it give you, Chhaya?
Yes. हम तीनों का शायद जवाब सेम है, क्योंकि इस फिल्म की प्रोसेस हम लोग ने ना इतनी एंजॉय की है. इसके पहले भी फिल्में की है जिसका वर्कशॉप होता था, लेकिन ना डायलॉग के साथ सब लोग खेलते हैं, लेकिन ना हम लोग को इसमें ना इमोशन के साथ हम लोग ने बहुत खेला है. कि क्या होता है ना, अभी जैसे मेरे पास स्क्रिप्ट आई, पार्वती के कैरेक्टर के बारे में मैंने सोचा, पढ़ा, लेकिन खुद को जो आता है उससे ज़्यादा है ना कि सामने वाले को क्या चाहिए. जैसे पायल को पार्वती से क्या चाहिए, तो वो सीखना और साथ में वो एक अलग ही था हमारे लिए, बहुत ही मज़ा था. और मैं ना मेरे टीम के बारे में ज़्यादा बताना चाहूँगी कि मेरे लिए ना इन सब में ऐसे थोड़ा था कि मैं सबसे बड़ी थी, लेकिन मेरे लिए इतना सीखने के लिए था ना, जैसे कनी और दिव्या तो है, लेकिन बाकी हमारी आर्ट की टीम, डायरेक्शन की टीम, मला इतकं भारी वाटायचं ना की सगळ्या टीममध्ये मुली आहेत आणि अशा मुली आहेत ना की ओह, कुठल्याच कामाला अगं पाठी नाही हटायच्या. म्हणजे मला आठवतंय की एक सीन था हमारे घर का, खोली का, जो मैं सब सामान इकट्ठा करने जाती हूँ, तो एक शॉट में मैं ऐसे एक्शन बोलने के बाद मैं मेरे कैरेक्टर में थी और मैंने देखा कि सामने उस घर को एक छोटी सी खिड़की थी, उस खिड़की पे एक लड़की बैठी है कैमरा लेके, ऐसे शॉर्ट्स पहन के ऐसे बैठी है, प्रभाती थी. तो मैंने ऐसे देखा ना, तो मैं थोड़ी देर के लिए बस देखती रह गई यार कि मुझे वाला सब भारी एकदम यस यार,
हम ये फिल्म बनाएंगे,
yes,
we will all give it our best, and I think it's this sisterhood.
Yes.
And I think
म्हणजे अख्ख्या पुरे टीम में एकाच विचाराची माणसं भरलेली आहेत ना, तर हे ऑटोमेटिकली आपके काम पे बहुत असर होता है इन सब चीज़ों का.
जब आप एक इतनी बड़ी फिल्म बनाओ, छोटी सी फिल्म जो बड़ी बन जाए, that is talking about sisterhood. Ultimately that's what it's about, right? ये तीन औरतें एक दूसरे की मदद करती हैं एक ऐसे वक्त में, एक ऐसे जगह पर जहाँ पर और कोई नहीं होता. There's nobody, there's not their family. They only have each other.
Like the new kin that you find, new family that you
this
find.
new
you
family.
discover.
And I think that what I have been left with at the end of this interview is that what I see on screen is a product of what I probably happened on set. And that's what I want to tell. That's what I want to tell my audience, and that has been my greatest takeaway. Because you don't just make films; you actually have to live the philosophy of it for it to translate. I don't know. Some people may agree, may not agree. I don't care. But that is the most heartening thing to me about this film. Because every time, even in the press conference at Cannes, I remember when she was translating what one of you said, Payal omitted herself. And she said that it was great fun working with everybody. And you said, no, with you. And I remember that moment so clearly because as women, we are always putting ourselves down and we're not taking credit. But then you have another sister and another sister who come and say, नहीं, क्यों claim नहीं कर रहे हो यार? हम अपने लिए नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन हम दूसरों के लिए कर लेंगे. I mean, this is so great because I never thought, after watching this film, I actually get to sit and talk to you about making of the film. And I had an absolutely great time. I hope you also enjoyed the process talking about it. And thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.